Hello, everyone. Mr. Lape here. Just want to give you a little bit of information about the 2021 school year. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2021 school year, especially the classes of 2029, 2030, and 2031. Let that sink in for a minute. It'll be here before you know it. But welcome back. Hopefully, it'll be a great school year this year, and we will be able to do wonderful things with your children here in the building, and if you're accessing remotely as well. This year we have 12 second grade classes, 12 third grade classes, and 11 fourth grade classes with just north of 800 students so far this year. So it's going to be a very busy building with a lot of students in here, but we're so glad to see them finally come back after the shutdown happened earlier in the year for the last school year. Our main goal here is to enable your children to gain the foundational skills that they need in order to be successful as they move through each grade level here onto the Centennial School, middle school, and then obviously the high school. We have a parent handbook. It's posted on the website. Anything and just about everything you could want to know about the elementary school, about procedures, policies, those sorts of things will be posted in that. You can access that via the elementary school webpage on the Mars K-12 school district website. Planet Pact, we're asking all students, whether they're LSI or whether they're in-person students, to complete the Planet Pact information, the packet, parents and students to sign that, please. You can bring that with you the first day of school to give it to your teacher, or if you're an LSI student, when you come to pick up your LSI things, you can hand it in then as well. What that is a document that lays out the LSI specifications and the behaviors that need to occur while students are on camera, students are off camera, just all the guidelines you need to follow for the LSI procedures, whether you're in the classroom or joining us remotely every day. If there's any custody issues that you may have, you need to let us know about those things, not because we need to know everybody's business here at the elementary school, but we need to know we're giving children to the right parent or the right guardian that's coming to pick them up. The last thing I would want to do is to violate a custody order that I didn't know existed. So if there are any custody orders out there, make sure you get that information to us. You can scan it, email it directly to me. We will put that in the children's file, and it will be there for us to reference as needed to make sure we get the children with the right guardians or parents. Parent volunteers, we love having parent volunteers here at the elementary school. Unfortunately, this year, due to COVID-19 concerns and transmissions and contact tracing and whatnot, we are not allowing any parent volunteers in any district buildings this year just because of the pandemic going on. I know that's a heartbreaker for a lot of parents that love to come in and love to volunteer in the building. But this year, we're trying to be safe, and the less people in the building, the less chance there is for transmission of the coronavirus. Pick up your students during the school day. If you're coming during the school day, you will need to have a valid Pennsylvania driver's license or some form of ID that we can run through our Raptor scanner. That will be your sign out. You won't need to physically sign them out. We will ask you for that ID. We'll run it through our Raptor system, and then that will have a digital copy of you coming to pick them up and then leaving during the school day. There's a monthly newsletter that I will be doing each month. I'll email that out. It will also be posted to the district website. That'll be sent out here in the next few days by me, as well as a reopening plan welcome letter back to everyone with specifications and just procedures and those sorts of things about how the day will run here a little bit differently than normally. Chain of command, I always throw this in here at my little speech for orientation nights. The chain of command needs to be followed in every aspect of our life, but here, especially at school, if you're unhappy with something or have questions about something that's going on in the classroom, please reach out to that classroom teacher first. A lot of the issues and questions can be answered at that level. If you're not happy with that answer, reach out to me. Absolutely. I will try to get that answer for you. If you don't like that answer or we can't resolve it at my level, you can reach out to those above me. But those people above me are very, very busy, but your problems and your concerns are very valid as well. But I just want to try to get things under control at the building level or classroom level if possible. Most situations can be rectified at that level. So please give us that opportunity and respect that chain of command. School security, all doors will be locked and closed at all times. All exterior doors will be locked and closed at all times. We do have a school police officer, a Mars Area School District police officer, Officer Hank. He's a retired state trooper. He will be armed during the school day, but that gun does not come out of its holster unless it needs to be. And God willing, I hope, goodness sake, that we never have to have that gun pulled. But we're in good hands with Officer Hank. He's seen a lot of things as a state trooper, and I don't think he'll see anything here that he hasn't seen as a state trooper. So we're in really good hands. I feel very, very safe, and having 800 students here plus staff members with Officer Hank, we're in very, very good hands. Recess is going to run a little bit differently this year. In years past, we've had 5 or 6 classes out at recess at one time. This year, due to COVID concerns, we're only having two classes outside at a time for recess. Recess will run from 9:15 to 3:15 in 20-minute intervals. So some classes will have their recess at 9:15 right away in the morning, and some will have theirs in the afternoon from 2:55 to 3:15. But it'll run in there. So students will get recess every day, weather permitting. Now, if they do have indoor recess, they will need to stay inside. When students are outside at recess, as long as they're keeping the 6-foot social distance, they're allowed to take their masks off. They will be allowed to use playground equipment. We will be sanitizing and washing hands as they come back in from recess every day. So they will be allowed to use the equipment out there. I know that was a question in the community. Absolutely, they can use the equipment, but they will sanitize prior to returning to class. Lunch is a little bit different. We will be utilizing 2 areas in the building this year for lunch, the cafeteria and half of the gymnasium. We were going to eat in classrooms, but new guidelines came out about social distancing when kids have their masks off during times where they're eating. So the mask requirement really couldn't be met in the classroom. So we set up half the gymnasium, and they're able to keep social distance there pretty well, according to the guidelines. So there'll be a rotating schedule. Some days your children will eat in the cafeteria, some days will eat in the gymnasium. So gym classes will not be affected by this. We'll still be having physical education classes in the gym, but they will be confined to half of the gym at that time. Drop off and pickup procedures. Drop off in the morning is from 8:10 to 8:55. You will need to access the drop off area via 3 Degree Road, coming down Docks Way, and then pull into the drop off area. Anytime between 8:10 and 8:55, you can use that area to drop your child off. The students from 8:10 to 8:20 they're dropped off, will go to the gymnasium. Once the 8:20 bell rings, they will go to their classrooms. 8:35 bell will ring. Students will be permitted to enter the building that are riding buses. So 8:10 to 8:55 if you're dropping your student off at school. Pickup procedures, I had sent out an email a little while ago regarding this. It has changed a little bit. There's going to be 2 pickup locations for your child. You will need to exit your car and walk to either of these locations to pick up your child. The 2 locations, the cafeteria and the gymnasium, are the 2 locations. If your child's classroom is on the upper floor, you go to the cafeteria. If your child's classroom is on the lower floor, you go to the gymnasium for pickup. I specified which classrooms are upstairs, which are downstairs in the written communication I had sent out to you. So you can reference that to see where you need to go. If you have 2 children, 3 children in the building, some are upstairs, some are downstairs, just specify to us, let the classroom teacher know that where you want your children picked up. You will not have to stand in 2 lines. I think that's silly to make people stand in 2 lines for that reason. So yeah, just let you specify to us whether you want them to be. They will be there. You can pick up all of your children in one location here at the elementary school, or their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th grade. You will need to write a note every day for your child's pickup. If your child's going to be an everyday pickup, work out with the classroom teacher. You can write 1 note for the entire year, just so that classroom teacher knows every day your child's going to be a pickup, so they send them there. So instead of writing a note every day, you can write that note once at the beginning, but just work that out with your classroom teacher. If it's not going to be an everyday pickup, it's going to be hit and miss, you're going to need to write a note just every day for that, so we know where to send your child. This year also for pickup, we're going to have a placard system, and there's an email that has gone out about that. You can come and pick up a placard, write your child's name on it, and in lieu of having to sign out, sharing pens, COVID concerns with that, you'll have that placard for pickup. Show that placard. That will be your sign out. Your child will come. So I think that'll expedite getting people through much more quickly rather than having to sit there and sign out everybody, because we're asking a lot of people to drive and pick up their children every day. The last thing is just enjoy this time in your child's life. It goes way, way, way too fast. I have two daughters, ninth grade and seventh grade now. I can't believe they're that old, and I relish the days where they were in the elementary building because it was a much more simpler time in the Lape household. But you just enjoy it. It goes way too fast, and be involved at home with your children. Work with them when they're at home, because they don't always want you to be around a lot of times. So just enjoy it while you can. And last of all, thank you so much for all your support you give us each and every day. Thank you so much for trusting us with your children here. We have their best intentions in mind, and we will work very, very hard to make sure they are successful this year. Thanks again. If I can help you out for anything, shoot me an email, give me a phone call. I will try to help you out as much as I can. Thanks so much. Have a great day and have a great 2020 school year.